with all my kids.
And my husband. And my story, my little backstory is that my husband has lost his job over a dozen times in the period that we've been married. So I really needed financial help, and I always had a job. So it was cleaning houses when I was in Illinois, cutting hair out of my garage. I was an admin assistant. I worked for a church, and my son was 3 weeks old. I had to go to work. There was just whatever it took to help out. So my last job was this, and I had an Etsy shop, and I made baby clothes, and I worked really, really hard, long hours, 6 hours a day for 5 years. And I kind of hit the plateau of where I wasn't going to be able to make anymore, and to hire somebody to help out was going to cost more than it was worth. And I just, when this business was brought to me, I was just at the breaking point of I was no longer having joy, and I was just over it. So Desiree told me about it, and I probably just didn't say anything. I was just ignoring her. I didn't want anything to do with the business. I do not sell. And I still say that because I still don't feel like I sell. But I don't sell. It's not something I want to do. And I just kind of wrote it off. But I did want the product. I have autoimmune disease. My health was failing. I really wanted the product. So a couple months of her just continuing to plant that seed. Eventually, last year, 2 days ago, is when I signed up to join Take and Sell Juice Plus. So the first thing I did was I met with Sharon, and I just kind of said, like, make me a believer. Like, tell me something, because I'm not going to have any intention of actually selling this. Like, I don't have a hard time sharing anything because I don't want to ask for a sale. Can you tell me more about this product? Help my belief. And so she did, and she told me 42 customers was my goal. I didn't think I was going to make it to 500 points. So the 42 customers was kind of, I think I just laughed and thought, it's not happening. But, you know, if I could make it to 500 points, I get $100, and then I'd probably just stay there. I mean, I think that was a stretch for me. So I went to Facebook and created my story. So the first thing I did was just, hey, I'm taking these capsules called Juice Plus. Has anybody ever heard of them? I'm hoping they help me with my autoimmune. I didn't tell anyone I signed up to sell it because I wasn't going to sell, so that's why I didn't tell anyone. But after a few days, I started noticing my skin was clearing up, and just little differences here and there. I was starting to feel better, and so naturally, I go to Facebook with things like that. I was excited. So I didn't know what I was doing, but what I was doing was creating momentum and being consistent and creating a story, and I just didn't realize at the time. But going back, so every few days I would just post about how awesome I was feeling, not how anyone else needs this, just how great I'm feeling. And people started sending me messages and asking me about it. After 7 weeks, there's my before and after, I was anemic and yellow and pale and bruising and tired and hormone issues, and I didn't digest food, and I was really sick. And after 7 weeks, it was all gone. So same lighting and everything, you can see I have light in my face again. And the last thing I put down there was when my team, I signed up in September, so they all went to conference in October, and I went to YouTube. And I just watched all the conferences of the past so I could feel like I was there learning as well. So no excuses. That's why
you
I
watched all
in.
the conferences?
Like the whole previous one, the April
wow.
one. So I could feel like I was learning stuff because they're all at conference and I'm not. So this is an example of one of the posts of creating the story. So you can't see that it says Juice Plus in the back. You can see some containers. All the capsules in my hand. And I just make it really short. I added these to my life. I have never felt better. And that's kind of what I always tell people to lead with, is something like that. Let's say you post it on and off. Well, just something like that. Because now they're questioning, is this something that I want for my life? Is this something that I could take? I can't say I've never felt better. And maybe they're just taking vitamins, so they're probably thinking it's just some kind of vitamin. So this keyword momentum is really important. There's a post, I love that my allergies are gone. There's people that struggle with allergies. So if I don't share something like that, I have allergies and mine aren't gone. But I do have customers that do have allergies, and that's one of their testimonies. And so when they're telling me this, I'm always telling them, put it on Facebook. Tell your friends. They could be suffering right now. It's really important to keep it short. If you're scrolling through Facebook, you're not going to read 2 paragraphs. I mean, some will, but majority of people, they're in and out. So you need something that's going to catch their attention, and that's a photo and something very short, like what I just told you. You can go into your whole full story in your first comment. You can comment on it and do your whole long post if you really need to get it out there. But in order to get them to stop to actually read it and catch interest, it needs to be short. I tell everyone to post every 3 days about Juice Plus, not necessarily using the words Juice Plus, but it's constantly popping up on your newsfeed. But every day, post something personal or health related, or a recipe, or just something, so it's not overboard on Juice Plus, but not being buried with all your other stuff. And let me just tell you, when I first started posting, I was the one that read everything and posted once a month. I didn't check in anywhere. I didn't want to know anyone to know what I was doing, where I was going. So this is, it's hard for me to post. It's still, I don't want to, but I know that it works, and I know that it's changing lives. So show excitement. People aren't going to be excited about something that you're not excited about. So your posts need to be excitement. Your sharing with them back and forth needs to show how excited you are. Share stories. So anytime that someone tells me a story, a customer or a distributor or anything that I hear, I share it. I don't wait till the third day. I share it immediately, right when I hear it, because I never know who's struggling with that. And I've had people who told me after 8 months that they've never liked or commented on one of my posts. I've been reading your stories for the last few months, and I'm ready now. So if I would have stopped and got all bent out of shape months ago, that would have never happened. The best time to post is between 1 and 4 p.m. during the weekdays, and before 8 a.m. and after 8 p.m. in the weekends is the worst. People are spotty, so don't post at 6 a.m. or 10 p.m. and then get all upset because nobody's commenting. It's not showing up, so it's not their fault. This is another 2 posts. So this is one I did. Lily got a cold, but I loaded her up on these gummies, and the next day it was gone. It does say Juice Plus in there, but I'm not saying, now who's in? Who wants to order? I'm just saying a statement of what it's done for my daughter. But automatically they're thinking, my daughter's always sick. Then they have more energy now. It's just something that I'm constantly hearing, and I don't need that 3 p.m. coffee. So that's one of my. You do not comment on your post. If you answer all their questions in the post, then it takes away all the interest from everyone else that's looking. You want them to contact you so you can build a relationship rather than, oh, Juice Plus, and they write you off.
So you private message them.
I private message them. I don't even acknowledge the fact that they are, I don't even say I'm PMing you, because even that sounds shady to me.
Right.
So I'm just going based off of what I would do, because I never went to a Mary Kay party, never went to any of this stuff. I didn't like it. I didn't want to feel sold to. And so this is how I keep from not selling. They come to me. So I always send a video. So I tell them about the basics of we don't get 8 to 10 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. We don't get the wide variety. And I give them a little bit snapshot of my story. And then I send them a video. And the one I love is the Nurses and Juice Plus video. It's kind of my go-to right now. I feel like any parent can really relate. They, like the
doctor. You send it on a Facebook message?
On a Facebook message. I pull up another browser, go to YouTube, find it, or you can go to our website, find it, copy it, paste.
I don't have another browser. Okay.
You can. It's just going up when you're on the internet. It's just hitting a little arrow, like a little arrow on the right, and it opens up a new one.
Oh, I'll show you.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I'll show you. It's really easy.
Okay.
So you always set up the next appointment. So I'll say, once you watch this video, do you mind if I follow up with you in a couple of days? And I always follow up every 2 days. I don't go longer than that. I want them to remember me, and I want them to keep it in their head, and I want them to watch it. I ask if they have any questions to help them make a decision, and sometimes they say yes, sometimes they say no, now's not a good time. Okay, well, now's not a good time. Do you mind if I follow up with you next month? Yes. And I haven't heard anyone say no. They usually say yes, and then I write it down on my calendar.
How many times, how many exposures do you think it kind of takes before they say, yes, I'm ready, or whatever?
If I'm going back and forth with them with a message, like maybe 4 times, but I don't know how many times people have seen my Facebook things before they decided. It seems like a lot. But then when I'm talking to someone one-on-one and I'm telling them how it's transformed my life and my kids and how great I feel and this story and that story, I can get them to sign up probably by the end of the night once they talk with their husband.
Good. Okay.
So
I mean, obviously you have a lot of customers, so.
Yeah. But it hasn't just been, it's not 14 at a party. It's spotty from this. And I'll take spotty.
Yeah.
So here's what you don't do. You don't say Juice Plus too much because people will feel sold to. They'll feel like you're pushing a product on them. So I do use it in my posts every once in a while, but I try my hardest, if I don't need to not say it and just talk about, show the pictures of capsules, of gummies, of whole food nutrition, whole food product, things like that. Don't just post Juice Plus stuff. If you don't put personal stuff on there too, they're gonna be over you. You know, you don't want people to start unfollowing you and unfriending you. So do not post on off hours and get disappointed. Don't care more about the sale than the person. That's really important when you're talking to someone back and forth. You want to know about their story, why they even are interested in it. Then they want to feel cared for. Don't get discouraged if there's no interest for a while. So my first month, if I'm looking back on my first month, I barely got my 500 points in like 3 weeks. And if I'm looking at my Facebook, there's maybe 1 or 2 likes, maybe a comment or 2. Doesn't look like anything really happened. And so then I started thinking, well, what did I do? Well, it's because people started messaging me, and it created momentum for my second month, which had the 25 customers. So it was constantly creating the momentum, talking about it, being consistent, not giving up, and people started messaging me. So you just don't know who's watching. And like I said, that person that's been watching since September, but just hasn't even ordered yet, but it's just now showing that she's interested. And then I have a distributor who said, she's interested, talk to me, and then, no, my sister-in-law told me it was bad. You know, I'm not going to take this. And then 2 months later told me I need this now, and then had a complete health transformation and is now a VF. So, you know, you can't, you just never know. And that's why you share the business too, because they might say no, like me, and then 2 months later, you know, feel like they have to do it. Somebody's nudging them to do it. So don't give up. Never quit on your worst day because you never know what tomorrow will bring. And I think that's good with everything in our lives. You just don't quit until you have an educated, peaceful, happy day at anything. Overcoming your fears. My husband's fear was that I'd be the Juice Plus lady. And I'm okay with that a little bit more now. But I don't know. Don't let that be your fear, because if you are the Juice Plus lady, then that's like a really good thing. That means you represent health. And that means people know to come to you when they're all discouraged now. I remember reaching out to Desiree, and it's like, people are going to delete me. I keep, you know, sharing, and I'm starting to get insecure, and what if they delete me? It's like, if they delete you, then good. Then they're not your friend anyways, because they don't know your heart. And then when something happens in their life and so-and-so gets cancer, guess who they're going to remember? And I was like, yeah, you're right.
Can you go back to the don't page real quick? I thought I'd captured it, but I guess I was so engrossed in what you were saying, girlfriend, I didn't even take a picture of it yet. Okay, now.
All right. So yeah, I think that it's, for acquaintances, it's more important that I'm sharing health with them than I am that they're deleting me. That's more important because that could change their life. Losing friends, like I said, it's more important, so I'm not going to worry about losing friends, because if I do it the right way, they're not going to feel sold to. Not enough knowledge, I hear that from quite a few different personalities. Not my personality, but other personalities that want to know every single thing before they share. So I think that it's kind of just, it's fruits and vegetables. We don't get enough, start there. And then as you get questions, they know that they can talk to us, and our team can talk to us and ask us questions. So there is no fear of not having enough knowledge, because that's how we learn. So don't let that hold you back. And then failure, it's okay to fail. That's like a really good thing. I think if we don't fail, how would I ever lead a team successfully if everything was always easy for me? And so I'm happy that I do have failures, not at the time, like today. Not happy, but now